Welcome back to AM Northwest. Starting a new job? It's important to know how to make a strong impact from day one. Here to share ways to successfully navigate the critical first 90 days in a new position, we welcome back Executive Leadership Coach and Strategic Advisor, Dr. Carol Parker Walsh. Good to see you.
You too.
I want to say congrats on your award. It was for Enterprising Woman of the Year.
Women of Influence.
Women of Influence.
Yes, but I did win that award last year.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. You have so many awards.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about why it's so important to understand when you get a new job, how you need to set yourself up, right?
Yeah, those first 90 days, first 30 days are so critical. And honestly, I tell people in the interview process, after the offer is made, you need to talk to them about how you want to come into the organization, how you want to spend those 90 days. It shouldn't be a shock. And I know not every position requires that. It can be more of a condensed time.
Yeah.
But usually I work with people who are coming into high-level positions, and those first 90 days are critical because you don't want to come in with either an attitude of, so what do you want me to do? Or I have all these ideas and I want to implement them all right now, right? Because it's going to upset the balance. So, it's so critical that you think about how you want to step into that role so that you set yourself up for success.
So you're saying in the first 30 days, basically it's observe and absorb.
Yes. So I like to think of them as 3 sets of 30s, your first, second, and third 30s, right? So the first, yes, you want to observe and absorb. So that's the opportunity where you're listening more than you're speaking. You're creating a learning plan where you're going to develop questions and who you want to talk to and who do you want to connect with. And you want to build relationships with those individuals that are connected to your role. So anybody that you work with, teammates, customers that you may be connecting with, anything that's connected to your role, you want to start building relationships. And you just want to ask questions. This is the time where you learn the culture as well.
Right.
That's the other reason why you want to observe and just absorb what's going on, because you get a sense of not only the formal rules of the organization, but the informal rules of the organization.
Things that they expect you to know that you have no clue about.
Exactly. And it's an opportunity. I always tell people when you're coming into a new role, it's a give and take, it's a barter. They're paying you to do work. So it's like a relationship. This is your opportunity to judge whether or not this is going to be a good relationship for you, and if you want to stick in there with it, or if you want to make a different call. And so by sitting back and observing for those first 30 days, it gets you a lot of insight.
Okay, second 30 days, you say develop and plan.
Yes, develop and plan. This is when you want to think about how you can start taking care of maybe those low-hanging fruit, right? So what are some quick wins that you can get in the second 30 days, right? You've had an opportunity to learn and observe. If you're a leader, you've had an opportunity to meet with your team members and get to know them one-on-one and their strengths and this, that, and the other. So this is an opportunity to say, now, how can I create some quick wins so that I can see what I'm able to do in the organization, what's my boundaries within the organization, what are the type of things that I could get done, right? So taking those quick wins not only creates success for you and your team if you're a leader, but it also gets you moving in the right direction in that time.
Okay, I have a random question for you. So let's say you start a new job and then one person immediately gloms onto you and wants to be your best friend in the new position. I would say, red flag, stay away. Well, that would be, if I was Dr. Carol Parker Walsh, having experienced this myself, it's like when they come on too quickly, it's like something's not right.
Yes.
See what I'm saying?
Yes, particularly the ones who think they can guide you through and give you all the inside information or things of that nature. There may be something to it. And so this is why it's so important that you build relationships with the people around you and not just the one person. But also in the next 30 days, you're expanding your network. So you also want to have conversations with other key stakeholders throughout the organization. Maybe there's someone who can serve as a mentor or a sponsor, and that's a good person to have a conversation with to ask about the person that's connected to you so quick, so you can get some background information to know whether or not this is a safe relationship or not.
Right, exactly. Final 30 days, you say to execute and evaluate.
Yes, so this is when you start going after those long-term goals. So you want to make sure that you're aligned with the organization. At this point, you have had monthly check-ins with your manager or your boss to make sure you're moving in the right track, that you're in alignment. You've had those low-hanging hanging fruits. So now is the time to really step into those larger term projects or those long-term goals that are aligned with the organization that you want to start stepping into. This is your opportunity also to figure out how do you want to be seen and known in the organization. So you want to really start thinking about your brand. And if you're a leader, what's the brand of your team, right? You want to make sure that who we are and what we're known for in the organization is a certain thing, or are we the ones who get it done? Are we the ones who you can always depend on?
Yeah.
Are we the ones who always over deliver in terms of what's happening in the organization? So what's your brand? How do you want to be known in the organization? In those last 30 days, you really, now that you understand the organization, you can see how you fit in and how you want to be seen in the organization. And if you're a leader, this is your opportunity also to make sure that you have buy-in from your team, that you've created a vision for the team, and that you've created safety and trust for your team, right? So you don't, even as the leader, you don't want to come in and start telling everybody what to do, particularly if you have an established team.
Right.
You want to partner with them so you're building trust and you're building safety with your team as well.
Do you think in the first 90 days you should show up early and stay late?
No, I don't think you should start any practice that you're not going to continue throughout the time that you're working there. When you start an organization, even through the interview process all the way until you start, you want to show them who you are. You want to be authentic. And if you're not someone who wants to come in early and stay late, don't start a practice that you can't complete, because if you start that, the expectation is that you're going to continue that. And so all of a sudden they're going to expect you to show up an hour early, or they're going to give you assignments that will require you to stay late. So you want to train the company just like you
they train you, you train them.
Exactly. So you want to be very authentic and honest about your boundaries, what makes sense for you, and be very clear with that. That's where you want to be clear about expectations with your boss. So you want to be having those meetings so that it's very clear that I want to be home with my family. I expect to leave at 5. So just so you know, this is what's going to be helping me be successful in this organization.
Thank you for helping all of us.
You're welcome.
And congrats on all your awards.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.